experience with programming and your experience performing at a high level as an athlete, your accolades, and also being where you're at in jiu-jitsu, that you're not a beginner, you've been doing this for a while. What are your thoughts on class structure and effectiveness? Because I always think of everything from like a muscle prep training perspective, where you're getting your body ready, you're getting your heart rate ready, you're getting into whatever bulk work you have to do depending on the phase of training, and then you're trying to manage your rest and recovery through the days and sleep and nutrition so you can keep performing at whatever output you are. And then when I went to jiu-jitsu, so many of the roots are really archaic in some degree, right? Like this is the way that it was done, 150 years ago. This is the way my professor did it. This is the way we do it. Or, to be fair, in some situations, it's by no fault of their own, almost like a lackadaisical approach, that there's no other alternative that they're aware of. So this is kind of how it's done. When you go into, Caio Terra's, for example, these are high class competitors, right? Some of the best in the world. How do you view the lead into rolling, the way that class is structured? How do you take your trainer and coach approach, and what would you do differently in those kind of settings?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, similar to CrossFit, there's a big discrepancy between a good gym and a not as good gym in jiu-jitsu. I've been to a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms, been to a lot more CrossFit gyms. Right. And when it comes to CrossFit gyms, historically, right, what you're going to say is, hey, we want to go ahead and, warm up, increase core body temperature, work through a range of motion. Then we're going to go ahead and work some type of skill, strength, whatever. Then we're going to get into our workout. That's traditionally what you'll see at a CrossFit gym. And for us, we put out programs to many, many gyms that we use in our gyms. We then sell that to other gyms. And so we take a lot of pride in a formal session plan, a formal timeline, a formal warm-up, a formal skill session, how to scale from that audience with daily videos.
Yes.
So we really care about, from minute 1 to minute 60, what is the experience you're getting? And it should be consistent from coach A to coach B to coach C. Now, in jiu-jitsu, there's not much of that. So traditionally, what I found is it'll either be like the coach just coming up with whatever they want to come up with on that day. There's no rhyme or reason. It'll just be like, hey, today we're going to work the arm bar. And maybe tomorrow we might work, it might be another coach, and he might work the arm bar. Another coach might work the arm bar.
Right.
And, so I think having consistency from a programming structure, I think would be really helpful in jiu-jitsu. And then from a warm-up perspective, I've seen all kinds of things, right? I've seen traditional, you run around the mat, and you do some snake moves, shrimping across you shrimp across the mat, you do some forward rolls, etc., into a then technique of the day, and then no rolls. I've seen rolls. So I guess my answer to that is CrossFit is consistently inconsistent, right? And I'd say jiu-jitsu is consistently inconsistent as well. I have seen it done at Caio Terra's in particular. They run their programs pretty structured, but I think that jiu-jitsu would benefit from a little bit more structure across the board, because I think what would happen is, just like CrossFit, you're one bad experience away from that person never trying jiu-jitsu again.
Yeah.
So if they come in and have a poor experience, they're going to tell 3 of their friends, oh yeah, they went and tried jiu-jitsu, they heard about it on the UFC, Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, it wasn't for me. Right. And I think what we need to do, same thing with CrossFit, is level the playing field and raise the bar. So when people think about CrossFit, people think about jiu-jitsu, their impression is positive. Whether that's the way you onboard them, it's the cleanliness of the facility, all of those things factors. And I feel like there's literally CrossFit and jiu-jitsu are identical in that journey.